Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, residents in Ranchita remain under mandatory evacuation orders today. CAL FIRE reports the Wilson and Stewart fires northeast of Julian are close to merging. So far, more than 15,000 acres have burned.
It's been a grim week for U.S. troops in Afghanistan. We'll hear about more green-on-blue attacks and move over London and Seattle. San Diego is about to get its own public markets.
And the sale of the San Diego Padres is official. KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dwayne Brown. Wildfires continue to threaten about 400 structures in the rural East County community of Ranchita. That's where a mandatory evacuation order is in place for a second day. Lightning has sparked 6 brush fires in the area since Sunday night. 4 of the fires have been completely contained. CAL FIRE says the Wilson and Stewart fires northeast of Julian are close to merging. After burning 15,000 acres, it's about 50% surrounded. So far, no homes or structures have been lost, but 2 firefighters suffered minor injuries. A temporary shelter is set up at Warner Springs High School. Major League Baseball owners approved the sale of the San Diego Padres today. The new owners include pro golfer and San Diego native Phil Mickelson and members of the O'Malley family who once owned the Dodgers. KPBS reporter Tom Fudge joins us from the News Center to talk about what the sale means for fans and the team. So, Tom, the sale price was $800 million. Why so high?
Well, it was that high because apparently somebody thought that the Padres were worth $800 million. I will say that part of that high price is due to a very lucrative TV contract the Padres have with Fox Sports. Also, baseball franchises are just getting more valuable. It wasn't long ago that the LA Dodgers were sold for $2 billion.
And what does this mean for the Padre fans?
Well, what the fans hope this means is that the new ownership group will spend a little bit more money on good players. The Padres have never been a powerhouse team. They're currently second to last in their division, and the fans are hoping that this ownership team is going to have the financial resources and the willingness to spend money to bring in really competitive players to make the Padres competitive.
And how does the Padres payroll compare, say, to other teams?
Well, that's a very good question. USA Today earlier this year reported that the Padres payroll was about $55 million, and that put them dead last in the major leagues in terms of the money that they spend on players.
KPBS reporter Tom Fudge. A San Diego veterans group is questioning the use of drones for domestic surveillance. Veterans for Peace protested today near General Atomics, the company designed one of the first drones called the Predator. KPBS reporter Allison St. John has been following the story and joins us via Skype. Drones or unmanned aerial vehicles, Allison, have saved American lives in places like Afghanistan. Why are these vets out demonstrating?
Well, this is a group called Veterans for Peace, and they're concerned about the fact that drones are now being used for domestic surveillance. The Department of Homeland Security is cooperating with local law enforcement and encouraging them to use some of the technology that in the past has been used mainly for military purposes. And the group is they really want it to be known that they're not basically protesting about the people who are working at General Atomics and Northrop Grumman. They are protesting the fact that there is very little legislation, very little laws really to guide and monitor and regulate the use of all this new technology.
In fact, drones actually bring a lot of money into San Diego's economy, right?
That's correct. In fact, it turns out that the National University Institute for Policy Research is conducting a study right now to see how much developing drones contributes to San Diego's economy. And Kelly Cunningham is estimating, according to his research with the federal procurement figures, that more than $1 billion of money, of federal contract money, comes into San Diego as a result of the contracts for development and production of drones through the 2 main companies, GA and Northrop Grumman, but also some smaller companies.
And what are the chances the veterans' protest will actually have an impact here?
Well, of course, the technology is developing very fast. There is apparently a caucus, a drone caucus in Congress, which is quite powerful. We reported on that last month. Jill Replogle from Fronteras Desk has that. You can see it on the web. And so that is a powerful caucus that could have an influence on any kind of attempts to regulate the new technology. But it is certainly not something that's going away. There are industry watchers who say that the drone market will double in the next 10 years.
KPBS reporter Allison St. John. A federal grand jury indicted the retired president of the National Border Patrol Union today. Terrence Bonner of Campo is accused of diverting hundreds of thousands of dollars in union funds for personal use. The indictment claims Bonner sought and obtained payment for supposedly union-related work and travel, including visiting his mistress in Chicago and sporting events. Bonner, who headed the union for 2 decades, faces his first court appearance Monday. The 11-year war in Afghanistan has resulted in 1,961 U.S. service personnel killed. Casualties rose steadily each year before reaching a peak in 2010 when 492 personnel were killed. There has been a slight decrease since then, with 398 killed in 2011 and at least 219 this year. July is the deadliest month so far, with 40 U.S. troops killed. The deadliest months of the war have been summer months of August, July, and June. There has also been a surge of insider attacks in the past 2 years, where Afghans have turned on their international counterparts. Amitha Sharma has more on the violence.
It was a deadly week for U.S. troops in Afghanistan. 6 U.S. troops were killed, including 3 Marines from Camp Pendleton and 3 from Camp Lejeune. Today, 7 troops and 4 Afghans died when their helicopter crashed. The Taliban says it shot down the aircraft. KPBS Home Post military blogger Beth Ford Roth joins me now to talk about the situation in Afghanistan. Beth, who were the 3 Camp Pendleton Marines and what were the circumstances under which they were killed?
Well, these 3 men were part of a special operations unit. They were, as you said, based at Camp Pendleton. And from what we can understand, they were invited by an Afghan police officer to a pre-dawn meal because it was Ramadan and not allowed to eat during daylight hours. So they went to this pre-dawn meal with the understanding they would share a meal and discuss security issues. And then this officer then shot and killed the 3 Camp Pendleton Marines.
And this follows another incident that took place in which 3 American troops were killed by a uniformed Afghan person. What can you tell us about that?
And it happened the same day. It happened later that day. 3 Marines were in a gym working out, and a uniformed Afghan entered the gym with what has been described as an AK-47 and opened fire. And one of the Marines' fathers told a newspaper, you know, I feel like my son was executed.
Beth, in both cases, these American troops were killed by uniformed Afghan security forces. Does this mean that the very people that American soldiers are training are turning on them, or is this simply Taliban infiltration?
It seems like it's a little of both. For the first time this week, Defense Secretary Leon Panetta came out and said, yes, this is the Taliban responsible. And the Taliban has taken credit with the first shooting of the 3 Camp Pendleton Marines. A Taliban spokesman came out and said that this police officer, after shooting the 3 Marines, came over to the Taliban insurgency. He joined the insurgency. So it is difficult because the mission right now is to be training Afghans, the security forces, to take over security of their own country. And there's got to be a level of trust between our troops and their security forces. And with this green on blue violence, it seems like it makes that mission all the more difficult.
So when the mission is over in 2014, when the U.S. exits, the fact that there are people from Afghan security forces that are going to the Taliban side, what does this say about what's going to happen to Afghanistan when the United States leaves?
I think there's a lot of concern about that you know, at the end of 2014, it's a deadline that maybe isn't rooted in actuality. And, you know, there's been word that there will always be an American presence in Afghanistan, not what we have now, not in the, you know, part of the NATO force, but yeah, I mean, there's concern when the people who are supposed to be taking over security for the country seem to be moving towards the insurgency. And I would imagine there's concern that doesn't really bode well for the future after 2014.
One final question. The cost of this war was almost $500 billion. What was the mission? What was accomplished, or was it a failure?
Well, I think that's something for historians to look at for years to come, and you're going to get a different opinion from you know, every person that you ask. I think the mission originally was, you know, we had been attacked on 9/11, and we were after the man who attacked us, Osama bin Laden, and the Taliban had been supporting him, and I think that was the original goal. And it's you know, from that point until 10 years later, when our goal right now is to basically hand over security to the Afghans themselves. It's hard to say success, failure. That's something that I think we'll be studying and looking at for decades and decades to come.
Beth Ford-Roth, thank you for your perspective.
You're welcome.
Excessive heat isn't stopping folks from taking a hike in our San Diego mountain areas, but some folks are going hiking ill-prepared and suffering heat exhaustion. There's been 56 rescues by the sheriff's helicopter team this year, and most were heat-related. It's high noon at Cowles Mountain, and hikers and runners are going up and down the trail like it's nothing. It's a hot day. Why would you want to go up on the mountain today?
It's great exercise.
For Lee Baird, San Diego's humid conditions are a welcome relief from Palm Springs, where she currently lives.
I'm visiting my dad now.
She also knows the value of being properly hydrated before and during a trek up the hill.
And they say, what is it, drink half your body weight in ounces every single day and you should be okay.
Okay, roger that. I guess you have to.
Since May of this year, 40 people have been rescued from popular hiking trails in San Diego, mainly because of heat.
So you're averaging 3 to 4 rescues a week right now is probably what it comes out to.
Sergeant Mark Johnston is with the Sheriff's Emergency Services Division. With 24 years under his belt, he's been a SWAT officer, worked search and rescue, and currently provides air support. He says the taxpayer costs for just one rescue can range from $1,500 an hour for a large Huey helicopter to a little less for a smaller aircraft.
Like the one behind me, one of the MD-500s, the operating cost per hour for that is roughly $500 an hour.
The Sheriff's Department has 2 aircraft, and they're responsible for covering 4,200 square miles of backcountry. Johnston says it takes about 3 hours to fly the perimeter of the county. As for tips to prevent heat exhaustion when hiking, proper clothing and shoes are important, and so is drinking water before and during your trek.
If you're going to go hiking in these temperatures this time of year, you should be planning at least 24 hours in advance to hydrate for that hike.
The Sheriff's Aerial Support Detail, or ASTRI, also aid firefighting in the backcountry. The team is working alongside CAL FIRE right now to put out the Vallecito fire near Julian. Charger fans in San Diego will not be able to watch the preseason game against the Dallas Cowboys live on television. The team did not sell enough tickets for Saturday's game, so it's blacked out. Game starts at 6 at Qualcomm Stadium. California's newest, most modern hospital will open for business this weekend in Escondido. The 11-story Palomar Medical Center looks impressive from the outside, but hospital officials say its real beauty lies within. KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg says it was designed to create a healing environment.
The new Palomar Medical Center looks like a luxury resort. The grounds are beautifully landscaped with native plants. The main lobby looks like it's lifted from a 5-star hotel. But make no mistake, This is a state-of-the-art hospital, and it was designed from the ground up to facilitate better patient care.
The design of the new emergency department has 3 separate pods, and that's ideal for us because we'll be able to move patients through more efficiently. Each pod has 2 critical care rooms, and so within that pod we have an emergency room physician, a physician's assistant, and 5 registered nurses. So they will be able to move around and take care of patients in a more efficient manner.
Palomar's trauma unit is down the hall from the 44-bed emergency department. Besides having ample space for doctors and nurses to work in, it's right next to the ambulance entrance. Upstairs, the operating rooms are built around a central core. Each one has built-in pass-through cabinets. Workers in the central core can retrieve and deliver items to the ORs without having to enter the rooms. That reduces disruptions and helps maintain the sterile field. There are skylights all over the hospital. Natural light is thought to aid in healing and reduce fatigue among staff. Up on Palomar's patient floors, there are no central nursing stations. That's because designers wanted to put nurses closer to patients.
And so outside of every patient room is what we call a distributed nursing station, where the nurse can sit here, do their work that they need to do, documentation, etc., physician orders, but they can see into 2 patient rooms. So they can see the patient in this room and they can see the patient in this room.
Each of Palomar's 288 patient rooms is private, and every room, even in the intensive care unit, has space for family members and visitors.
We don't have that today in the ICUs. Those days of having to call to come in and visit your loved one and only stay for 15 minutes, those days are gone. And in this building, we encourage our families to stay with us. So that's a wonderful feature. We also even offer privacy for our families so that we can pull the curtain if they need some privacy and some quiet time, and their loved one here needs some as well.
The rooms have some other distinctive features. The special call system enables patients to push different buttons for different needs. There's one for pain, one for a water refill, and one to talk directly with the nurse. The bathrooms are close to the beds, and patients can use handrails to guide themselves all the way in and out. Shoemaker says that should help reduce falls. Each room also has a view of the rooftop garden or the surrounding hills. That's not just for aesthetics.
Well, actually, there's a lot of research out there now that says that patients who have access to light in nature actually require less pain medication. They actually do better. They go home faster. And even as beautiful as this room is, patients still want to go home.
The seed money for this hospital came from North County taxpayers, who approved a $496 million bond measure in 2004. The Palomar Health District will pay the rest of the nearly $1 billion tab through future earnings and philanthropy. The hospital has a capacity to eventually house more than 600 patients, more than double its current size. Lead architect Michael Shanahan says this facility has been almost 10 years in the making. He says from the beginning, the idea was to design a hospital that marked a complete departure from the old way of doing things.
Hospitals aren't the most desirable places to go. And what we've tried to do here is bring in a hospitality environment. We're trying to make it more comfortable. We're actually trying to make it a desirable place to go if you have to go. And I think that's important. I think the other piece that's very, very important, you have to recognize it's more than just the patient. It's the loved ones that want to stay with the patient. It's the family that wants to come visit the patient. It's the whole experience behind healing and providing a positive experience around the whole healing process. And that's what we're attempting to do here.
KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg. The new Palomar Medical Center will admit its first patients on Sunday. The old hospital in downtown Escondido will remain open for maternity care, behavioral health, and urgent care. A plan to build a public market in San Diego is gaining momentum. Amita Sharma explains.
London, Seattle, and Los Angeles have one, and now San Diego is about to get its own public market filled with locally grown fruits and vegetables and a lot of other items. Kat White and Dale Steele came up with the idea of a San Diego public market. They're here with me now. Kat, I know at least the reaction among my friends was, at last we have a public market in San Diego.
Absolutely. That's been the reaction everywhere.
So what are people going to find there?
Oh, lots and lots of fresh food, and food being made on site, so somebody actually making cheese, people curing salami, cutting meat, chickens, and farmers with all kinds of produce. We'll have some artisans there. And some really terrific chefs that are going to come down to do really small spaces where they pick one of their favorite items and make a business out of it.
Now, you mentioned produce. How's this going to differ from the local farmers markets that we see around?
Extended hours for one thing, and bigger display areas are a possibility. You know, we'll also have 2 weekly farmers markets at the San Diego Public Market, so farmers that can't commit to 6 days a week, early till late, will still be able to come in and set up tents 2 days a week, Wednesday mornings and Sunday mornings, and so you'll have a neighborhood market there as well. But this gives you a central location where, in addition to the farmers, you can go a little deeper into food, where you've got refrigeration facilities, so some really wonderful actual artisan food production can take place, where there's kitchen space where people with small food businesses can grow.
Dale, I know that you and Kat haven't secured 100% funding for the property, so you're sort of taking a leap of faith. What kind of response have you received from the community?
We thought we would have a good response, but it's been overwhelming. It's been incredible. I've worked on this project for many, many years, given presentations all over everywhere, spoken to downtown associations and condo associations and individuals and chefs and restaurateurs and hoteliers and people from all walks of life, and everyone has been so on board and so excited about this. So once we secured the property, to just sort of open the floodgates has been amazing. Everybody is so excited.
What kind of fundraising are you doing?
Well, we're doing a Kickstarter project. I'll let Kat tell you about that. She's the commander of the Kickstarter, our Kickstarter project.
Yes, indeed.
But we're also doing some private investment. Our savings and yeah.
Selling our firstborn children. Sorry, girls. Yeah, we actually do have a Kickstarter campaign going, though, that's nice because it lets everybody in San Diego feel like they have a little piece of the San Diego Public Market when it opens. I don't know if you're familiar with Kickstarter, but it's sort of a crowdsourcing fundraiser. So we've mounted our campaign, we put up our video, we set a goal. If we don't hit that goal, we don't get a cent of the money that people pledge. So we have to reach $92,244, or we don't get any. We can go over that, but we're still working to hit that $92,244. But we've had people donate $1. We've got a lot of culinary students doing that right now. We have people that have donated thousands of dollars. They get rewards when they donate, so anything from the couple that signed up yesterday to have their wedding at the market by making a certain size donation, to the folks that donate $12 and get heirloom seeds with San Diego Public Market on them.
Now, Dale, this public market's going to be located in the Barrio Logan area, which some people have actually called a food desert. What do you hope that area gains from having a public market in its midst?
You know, it will so enliven the area. It was an industrial site with its back to the community. It will now be fully open and airy and light, and it'll be animated. There'll be lots and lots of things going on. Not only will they be able to come and get fresh, good, healthy food, locally grown and produced, but we'll have events there that will be specific to the community and to the entire San Diego region. We'll have movie night. You can have a quinceañera there. You can celebrate your grandmother's 100th birthday there. You can have an office party. We'll have cooking classes, and we have a great, strong educational program to teach children where their food comes from, the importance of eating together as a family. We'll be teaching diet, nutrition, exercise, healthy lifestyle to seniors, to the military families, and to the community.
And very quickly, when's the opening date?
Actually, we'll be starting our weekly markets in about 3 weeks, Wednesday mornings and Sunday mornings. Watch for that. We'll be continuing to lease shop spaces, permanent shop spaces, and that'll be open in the spring.
Kat, Dale, thank you for speaking to us today.
Thanks so much for having
us.
Tonight in the public square at Major League Baseball today put its stamp of approval on the $800 million sale of the Padres to the O'Malley family and pro golfer Phil Mickelson and other investors. Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig said the deal will serve the fans of San Diego well in the years ahead, but some of you aren't so sure. Nick Sacco on Facebook wrote, "Man, I wish that my business could be mediocre to terrible every year and then watch its value skyrocket because of a TV deal that assumes people care about watching what my mediocre employees do." The Sacrifice Bunt tweeted, "Frankly, I'm not jazzed about the team going to one of Murad's bosom buddies, especially if he keeps Murad's other bosom buddies on board." Porfirio Diaz, also on Twitter, responded, "When it is all said and done, it's still a good old boys club in this MLB game of ours, and Murad wasn't let in. Thank God." You can weigh in on the conversation by following us on Twitter, liking us on Facebook, and of course, you can email us.
And recapping tonight's top stories, residents in the Far East County of Ranchita remain under mandatory evacuation orders tonight. Wildfires threaten about 400 structures in the area. CAL FIRE says the Wilson and Stewart fires northeast of Julian are close to merging. So far, more than 15,000 acres have burned. A shelter is set up at Warner Springs High School. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. You have a great night.